I welcome the opportunity to contribute to this debate this evening, and I think it is important to note that there is a lot of fodder coming into the country at the minute, and the problems in some parts of the country may be starting to ease with the fact that the growth seems to be happening and grass does appear to be growing. But there are parts of the country where the growth hasn't started yet, and particularly I think in Pringle, things haven't picked up as much. So I think that needs to be addressed in terms of the fodder coming in and where it's been sent to ensure that farmers can avail of it. And I know that many farmers have acted very generously and have shared fodder and that with their neighbours to ensure that they can continue to feed their animals. But I think we all have heard stories of farmers capitalising on the circumstances as well, and the prices of fodder going through the roof in certain instances across the country. And I think that's something that should be condemned, and I don't think anybody in this circumstance should be profiting on the woes of some farmers across the country. And as the problems may ease, and in the coming weeks it probably will get a bit easier, hopefully if the weather improves and we do get a bit of warmth and the growth does recover across the country, I think it's vitally important that the department does review what has been happening over the last number of weeks, and particularly in relation to the banks and whether they have been providing credit or not. And also I think as well in relation to, I know the Minister did confirm in the committee meeting, I think it was 10 days ago now, that if farmers couldn't access credit and they didn't have fodder, that the department would make sure that there was feed supplied for their animals. And I would just like to see a review maybe over the next few months of how that operated, and hear from farmers and hear from the department as well whether that support was made available and what actually farmers had to do to make sure that they received that support, because I think that will be very important. And as other deputies have outlined, this crisis will probably recur again next year because of this growing season has been so late this year, and many farmers will have lost a cut of silage, and so there will be another fodder crisis probably in the spring of next year again. So I think that the aid and the purchasing of fodder has to continue in the department. I know the Minister has said that he'll continue to support that, and I think the department has to continue to support the purchase of fodder to make sure that there are stocks there for the winter and for the early spring as well for next year. So I'd just like the Minister just to make sure that continues on. Thank you.
No, Deputy